What's up, guys? Welcome back to Wrestling Crossroads for our WrestleMania Backlash recap. I am one half of your dynamic duo, Pyro, with my little sister, Twisted.
Heyo.
Alright, first match on the show, opening up with an instant classic, Cody Rhodes versus Seth freaking Rollins. Now, everyone in our crew made the right decision and picked Cody to come out victorious. And to no surprise, that's exactly what he did. These two put on an absolute clinic in that ring. The storytelling was absolutely phenomenal. The back and forth was
too pristine. It was amazing. And even there were parts where, like you said, the storytelling, Seth picked up on a lot of things that Cody was doing in their previous WrestleMania match. So maybe he went back and actually watched parts of that match to kind of get in Cody's head. And I mean, finisher after finisher, but it was Cody who came out on top.
I think both men decided to be smart, and just like players in the NFL, players in the NBA, they went back and watched some game tape to pick up on what mistakes they may have made and what mistakes their opponents are known to make. And it definitely showed.
It definitely did. And it paid off for a good chunk of, Seth Rollins in the match. But,
both men really early in the match played a lot of defense, never really got a lot of offense going.
No, but you still couldn't get a look away from the screen. It was so good.
Exquisite match. Again, congratulations to our winner, Mr. Cody Rhodes, picking up that win with a page out of Seth Rollins'
playbook. Yes. So jumping into the next match, we have Bobby Lashley, who took on Omos, and again, to nobody's surprise, everybody picked Omos, and he won. Now, beforehand, we were talking about the deciding factor of MVP and how he could play a really big role in this because of his deception and his mind games.
Yep, I stated it that was the biggest reason I picked Omos. MVP was definitely the X factor in this match, showed dividends because his involvement helped the Nigerian Giant, which,
as they're now calling him,
I don't get why, but that's neither here nor there.
Doesn't everybody have to be Nigerian now that when they're big and on a roll? I mean, we had Apollo Crews doing all that. Now he's with Commander Seed, and he's with Nigerian, whatever the hell his name is. But still, I mean, now we got a Nigerian Giant. Why don't we just all put them together and have a Nigerian little dance party?
You know what? That might help Apollo's and Commander's career become relevant, align them with MVP, and there you go. Anyway,
maybe he might actually have relevancy, as you were saying, but
he hasn't had that in about a year.
Over. Yeah,
but Mania last year, he was relevant, IC champion.
When the time the IC title was actually at a Mania. Great.
Valid. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Picking
that's for another podcast.
Exactly. Picking up the win was Omos. Congratulations to him. Really excited to see how this story plays out. Moving on, you had another Mania rematch. This makes rematch 3 of 4 on the night. You have Styles taking on Edge once more, this time with Judgment Day partner Damian Priest banned from ringside. Now, myself and Twisted did pick Styles.
We did.
Everybody else picked Edge. This match definitely had a lot of twists, turns, tricks, and what interferences and involvements with it.
Aside from that, though, there was a lot of really good classic parts of the match. You got to see a lot of early Edge from when he was in, and even early Styles. You got to see that bulldog that he was talking about, and he really did go after the injured shoulder, a lot.
Edge didn't gain the nickname the Ultimate Opportunist for nothing.
Okay, I understand that. However, there was even a point in time during the match, I don't know if you remember seeing it, but AJ normally goes for his phenomenal forearm when he's looking to close out the match. And however, this one time, he couldn't launch himself off the rope. So he literally had to go to the top rope to even try and do his phenomenal forearm.
getting to that. And that is all in part due to the shoulder injury caused by Edge and Priest. With Priest, however, did find himself out in the arena. He stood on the entrance ramp, technically not at ringside, so
You and your loopholes.
we're not talking about me right now.
Oh no, Damian Priest might have taken a page out of your book for that one.
Hey. The student learned from a great teacher. Because Edge was definitely the master of loopholes and manipulation. Anyway.
Is that where you learned yours from?
Maybe just a little bit. Back on topic. With that being said, it definitely provided a little bit of a distraction. We saw the interference of a Mr. Finn Balor.
Too sweet.
Let me hit it. Thank you. Closing out the match, though, Edge picked up the win from a little help from his newest recruit.
Can I say it?
And again, getting back to the, hey, Styles only has one good arm, can't really give himself the momentum to swing. This is where the new recruit comes in, because he went second turnbuckle to go launch over the, the third over the top.
And the new recruit
said no.
Can I say it?
Your newest member of Judgment Day happens to be the love of Flash's and Panda's lives.
The Nightmare Rhea Ripley has now aligned herself with Edge and Damian Priest.
Judgment Day just got a little more brutal, if you ask me.
Oh, yeah. And Rhea now getting rid of her blonde hair for some new jet black hair, which I gotta say did cause a funny moment in the house. Yeah.
Both Panda and Flash going gaga over their girl and her new look. As soon as something came out of Panda's mouth, Flash just whips his neck around. Back off. I get to go first.
They were just continuously drooling over her until she was
at that point,
off the screen.
Nothing else mattered to them at all.
Yeah.
You could have revealed the biggest secret of your life and they would have been like, huh?
Yeah, entirely. So again, congratulations to Edge on that victory. I can't wait to see how the rest of this pans out, especially with some more brutality being added to Vengeance Day.
And Judgment Day.
Judgment Day. I'm so sorry. I thought it was Vengeance Day for a minute. My bad.
Judgment Day. Old pay-per-view.
Yes.
Probably one of my favorites.
Wasn't he the one that was on the cover of it?
He was. Judgment Day. Nope. That was New Year's Revolution. Never mind.
Oh.
Never mind. I was going to point out a fact about the Judgment Day, and then I remembered the fact that I want to point out was actually a different pay-per-view.
So we will skip that for now.
Yes, we will.
All right. Going on to the next one was Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Women's Championship in an I Quit match. Now, as we had said before, the stipulation of an I Quit match hasn't been used in WWE since
about
2020. And even before then, probably a lot more. But Pyro and I did pick Charlotte to be the ultimate one to come out of this. Why have her just kind of lose? It didn't make any sense. However, Ronda Rousey picked up the victory. And what a better way for the baddest mom on the planet to spend Mother's Day.
The whole walkthrough, you knew I was going to use that line. You knew I was going to use that line and you went and did it on me. You ain't nothing. You know that? You ain't nothing, Twisted. How you gonna take the line? I sat here and rehearsed during the walkthrough just to... Nah, you taking my jokes? I thought we was friends. You
friends?
Forget you.
I am your sister.
Exactly, which makes it even worse. Forget you. Thank you. You took my moment.
Oh, you had moments?
I had a moment with that one. I had it in the chamber, locked, loaded, ready to fire, and you took it away from me. You are rude.
Says the man that cuts me off almost every time I'm speaking, but I'm the rude one.
Shut up, you've been doing that to me all cast. Anyway, back on topic. Because otherwise we're going to be here all night.
Oh, yeah. With your attitude, oh, yeah.
You know what? You got the same attitude.
Damn near birthed from the same woman.
Anyway, but yeah, congratulations to the baddest woman on the planet. The baddest mom on the planet. Certified badass. For picking up the win and delivering on her promise to break Charlotte Flair's arm, wishing her a speedy recovery, because nobody wants to see injuries. They suck.
Yeah.
Granted, Charlotte shouldn't have, given that sinister Happy Mother's Day line mid-match.
That's kind of what really ticked it. But aside from that instant classic, the build-up to it, we've both said, was
not
complete
great.
garbage. However, instant classic, I believe, between
the
these
match
two.
Definitely delivered more than the build-up.
Yes.
So I'm grateful for that. Now before I move into my next segment, though, I have an issue with tonight's show. Not only was this a really small card,
yes,
something you pointed out during the match, during entrances of this match.
Yes.
You were upset by the lack of titles defended or really represented on the show.
Yes, we only literally, aside from the Bloodline coming in plus RK Bro with their titles, there was no titles on the line at all or represented really in this entirety. All we had was the one championship match.
And as much as that ticks me off, the thing that ticks me off most is on a day like this, as special as this is, it being Mother's Day, a great day, you want to you kind of think you'd want to represent your women a little better. And out of the entire show, 6 matches, how many matches did we have that featured our women?
1.
That's not okay with me. That does not sit right with me. Our next match being Corbin versus Madcap. I'm the only one that picked Corbin to win. Anyway, Corbin got the win. Yada yada yada. Congratulations.
Corbin did not get the win.
I'm sorry.
Madcap
You're right.
did.
Corbin walked home not as happy. Whatever. That match did tell its own little story in its own right. Definitely not what I was expecting.
Yeah, no, kind of the.
But you definitely could have moved that match to the kickoff show, considering the build-up was not great and not a lot of fans really were invested in that. You can tell that by watching the crowd reaction in the arena and us at home. Like, that was the only match that we didn't, get deep into.
Yeah. No.
You easily could have, instead of waiting for Friday for the women's tag title match of Natalya and Shayna versus Naomi and Sasha, you could have given us that tonight.
You could have even given us Becky Lynch and Asuka representing still 2 moms.
You could have given us something on the kick. You could have given us the tag titles on the kickoff show. Just represent your women a little more on a day like this.
Yeah, most definitely. But if it were to happen on Father's Day, there wouldn't be a single women's match on the card.
Not necessarily true, because I've watched a lot of.
I meant in nowadays, in this more PG era, in the more of
again, not necessarily
post-pandemic
true.
era as well.
Again, not necessarily true. There's been, a couple years ago, Money in the Bank landed on Father's Day, and you got a bunch of women's matches. Your women and your men's matches were about right here.
About equal.
But then again, granted, it is easier to do when most of your roster is men, but still don't sit right with me. But anyway, moving on to the next topic.
So closing out the show, we had the Bloodline consisting of Jay and Jimmy Uso, your SmackDown Tag Team Champions, and Roman Reigns, your, WWE Universal Champion.
Undisputed WWE Universal Champion.
I don't need that one. However, it was them taking on RK Bro, your Raw Tag Team Champs, and Drew McIntyre in a 6-man tag team match. Now, all of us but MKE and Pyro did choose RK Bro to win. And you know, I can say it. We did take the loss on that one. I didn't think that, you know, I thought that there were other plausible reasons as to why the Bloodline could have lost this, and I did say that in the prediction video of why they could have. However, I didn't see the tag at the very end, and I know that was something me and you had discussed, and that's why I was more mad about the way that it had ended, because you didn't see the tag.
Granted, until they showed the replay, I didn't see the tag either, but it happened during that last Spanish Fly with Riddle and one of the Usos. I'm not even going to try to remember which twin was which at the moment. Unaware was, you know, the recipient of the spear to close out the match. Riddle, great match though.
Yes, a lot
absolutely
of back and forth,
great match.
beautiful.
Oh, the table spot. The crowd has been chanting since the I Quit match. We want tables, and we finally got somebody put through a table. Thank you.
However, it was the announce table, but still was a table nonetheless.
Somebody got put through a table regardless, and that's what matters. True. McAfee also made a reference to the Fiend that was not acknowledged. Smart move on Michael Cole's part. That might get him in, because that might get Pat in trouble. We'll see. But overall, really great match. Congratulations to the Bloodline for picking up that victory. Granted, again, like I said earlier, it wasn't necessarily the most needed match to make it a 6-man tag match.
Yeah, no,
that like you
needed.
were building Usos versus RK Bro. That's what the crowd was hyped for. You could have given us Roman Drew on a whole another night, separate build, separate. I would have even been okay had that been a one-on-one match that closed out the show.
Just as long as we got, you know, even just, you know, you could have ripped up the contract still and not even made it a 6-man tag match. You could have just left it at the 2-2, and it still would have been a classic, because I gotta be honest, when the Usos are going up against somebody of like Randy's stature, or even when they were constantly going against the New Day, they didn't put on a bad match.
Facts.
And I know you, like you just said, you can agree with me on that. I've never really seen the Usos, except for pretty early on in their careers, ever put on a bad match, especially since turning heel.
Oh my god, yes.
So guys, that is going to be us closing out the show tonight. Pyro, any other words for tonight?
Just one more, you know, happy Mother's Day to all those listening. To the women's superstars in the WWE and representing wrestling all around the world. The next time we come at you will be our prediction video later this month for AEW's Double or Nothing, which will take place May 29th. So if you haven't decided to buy it, I suggest you buy that pay-per-view. Check it out. Great programming. We'll be back with those prediction videos and a lot more fun. So just stay tuned.
Yep, we will see you guys May 29th for the predictions, May 30th for our recap. You guys have a good rest of your night. We are out of here.